The UK, more than 300 people have been charged and 740 arrested since the outbreak of widespread disorder. And it is gold for Ethiopia's Tamurat Tola as he breaks the Olympic record to win the men's marathon as the final weekend of the Paris Games gets underway. Hello, if you've just joined us, I'm Nikki Schuller. Let's get more now on our top story, the latest deadly attack on a school inside Gaza by the Israeli military. Now, Gaza's Civil Defense Agency has said about 100 people have been killed in the airstrike on a school in Gaza City. Hamas described it as an horrific crime and a dangerous escalation. I want to show you some of the latest pictures from the scene. Many, though, are too graphic for us to be able to show. Now, 3 Israeli rockets are reported to have hit the school, which was being used to house displaced civilians. The Israeli military confirmed that a strike took place. It said some 20 Hamas and Islamic Jihad militants were operating from the school. The Israeli army also said steps were taken to reduce the possibility of civilian casualties. Well, Javad Abdul-Monem works for the MSF, Médecins Sans Frontières, and has just returned from Gaza. He describes what it's like for Palestinians when there's a strike.
You know, when there's been a strike at some tents outside the ICRC base, 600 meters away, you hear it and you see the plume of smoke and you feel the shockwave in your own base, my base, MSF. And 4 of my colleagues come with their entire families running from that area where they were living, shaking, visibly shaking, terrorized, clearly sweating, knowing that they've just escaped with their lives and then have to turn up to work the next day. And this is happening continuously with no hope of it ending, no clear indication of them having safety.
Well, Mohamed Taha from BBC Arabic is here with me in the studio and has been monitoring the reaction and what actually happened. So, Mohamed, let's start off. What do we know actually happened at this school?
According to the civil defense authorities in Gaza, who performed a press conference lately, they said that around 100 people were killed, amongst them some children and women. These people were performing the Fajr or the morning prayer between 4 and 5 a.m. in the morning when Israeli airplanes launched missiles to this prayer area in Al-Tabi'in school in Gaza City, causing this amount of deaths and a similar number of injured people who are really struggling at the moment to fighting for their lives as there is no a single full functioning hospital in Gaza.
Now, the IDF say they were targeting Hamas militants and they also say that they did everything they could to prevent civilian casualties.
Indeed, we cannot exclude that there were Hamas members in the area because Hamas is an ideological organization with Islamic background. If there is a member of Hamas would be around, he would be performing the morning prayer with the worshippers. So we cannot exclude that, but what we know also that this school was inhabited with more than 5,000 people who already lost their homes, and they were coming to this school as a shelter. And we saw in the last few weeks a systematic targeting from Israel to schools, claiming that they were used by Hamas members.
Hamas calling it a dangerous escalation, but all along since the October the 7th attacks, Prime Minister Netanyahu said the aim is to destroy Hamas in Gaza.
Indeed, and this is reflecting the kind of disagreement between the army wing in Israel and the political wing. The army wing, as Daniel Hagari, the spokesperson of the Israeli army, said before that Hamas is an ideological organization. They cannot eradicate Hamas. But the political will led by the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his right-wing ministers, they think that they can continue this war endlessly, and they can eradicate Hamas by continuing the war. They also, amongst we were waiting that Iran and Hezbollah were about to retaliate on the killing of their leaders. We see that Israel is doing the preemptive attacks in Gaza, in southern Lebanon, in Syria, and in the West Bank.
Mohamed Taha from BBC Arabic, as always, thank you for your insight. Don't forget you can get much more on this on the BBC News website and app. We are going to turn